Y'all, y'all know what show don't get talked about enough? The Godfather of Harlem, starring Forrest Whitaker playing as an older version of Bumpy Johnson. Listen, y'all, I was one of them individuals who loved the movie Hoodlum as a kid, right? I love that movie. Lawrence Fishburne starring as a young Bumpy Johnson. Godfather of Harlem takes place after Bumpy then spent about 11 years on Alcatraz in prison. And he comes home, he's an older gentleman, right? Come home to his wife, um, his daughters in the movie and all of that. I mean, in the show. And we get to see an older, savvy gentleman, an older version of Bumpy Johnson, how he's maneuvering through this world where he's dealing with Italian mafia type, well, Italian mob bosses, right? Dealing with the Italian guys and how he's outmaneuvering them. He's swindling them. Now I know these aren't all accurate depictions of how these things occurred, but Bumpy Johnson had dealings with the Italian mafia, right? And he was dealing with them and all of that, right? And when you see like the way, and again, I of course I always don't like, drug dealers being depicted as these heroes who are nothing but people that they only do good in the community, right? But when you see him and his black crew and how they operating in this world of organized crime and how they are successfully getting it done, you be like, yo, man, this is a dope show. Just Forrest Whitaker's portrayal, his acting ability, man, his acting is phenomenal. And I said one of the best acting performances I've seen was him in The Last King of Scotland, where he plays Idi Amin. But like, this show should be talked about just as much as Power and all those shows, right? And it's on me too, because I don't talk about it enough just as much as I talk about Power. I'm about to make another video about Power coming up, right? And how I can't wait for Tariq's show to come back. But I'm like, yo, I ain't never talked about The Godfather of Harlem and gave that show its own individual shine. From even the people who are playing the Italian guys, they killing it. Listen, now in the third season, because I had to catch up. I'm on the third season now, right? The individual who played Malcolm X has been replaced. Nigel Thatcher's his portrayal of Malcolm X is phenomenal, bro. He kills it as Malcolm X. And then you see the relationship between Bumpy Johnson and Malcolm X, and and you see Malcolm X's turmoil within the Nation of Islam and him dealing with FBI and them bugging his car and tapping his phone. And you see all the stress that he's under while still trying to be a family man and a man of God and an upstanding Islamic man and an upstanding black Islamic man. Like, you see all these, and he's even the what's the word I'm looking for? How these two men are on the opposite side. Bumpy Johnson and Malcolm X are on the opposite side of crime, right? But at the same time, they find common ground within the caring for the community and for the people. And Malcolm X is trying to get Bumpy to recognize the error in the ways of, his dealings and some of the things that he's, the drugs that he's pushed out in the street and how it has ruined the community, etc. And also the good that he could be doing even while he's doing some of these terrible things, right? But yeah, man, this show is extremely dope. And like I said, I always loved the movie Hoodlum. Fun fact, my childhood friend Frances, her father played Tanichi, that worked for Cicely Tyson's character. What was her name? Stephanie St. Clair, something like that. What was her name on the Hoodlum movie? Tanichi, the dark-skinned black guy, right? That's my childhood friend's Francis. That's her father in real life. His name is Eddie Bo Smith. And I remember he was in Original Gangsters. And I remember seeing him in these movies, and he was in my kitchen, and I was like, what? Because her father, I remember when she told us her father was an actor, I didn't know what actor, what actor he was. And he came to the house when I invited her to like my not Christmas party, to my birthday party in like 3rd or 4th grade. And I was like, oh snap, this is her father, right? But anyway, Godfather of Harlem. So like I said, I've been a fan of Bumpy Johnson, the story since Hoodlum, and Lawrence Fishburne's portrayal of him. Then even the Chicago rapper, he go by the name of Bump J, picked up the alias, I believe, from the Hoodlum movie. And to see, and then I remember when Hoodlum first came out, I was looking up the real Bumpy Johnson. And, you know, looking, you see the picture. It's not too many pictures of him out there. You see the mugshot or whatever. But again, Forrest Whitaker is nailing it as his portraying him. And I'm like, yo, man, this show needs a lot more. I wish I had like a watch people who's watching the show with me. Now, you know, hopefully when it gets, you know, brought back for another season, has it been renewed? I hope so. Hope it's been renewed for a 4th season, right? Hopefully I have people that can watch with me and I can discuss it on the channel. I'm going to discuss it regardless, but hopefully I have people who can discuss it with me because, man, the show is really slept on. And again, everybody's portrayal and acting is just top tier. Top tier. Even the portrayal of his daughter, Elise, how she show her from being she was drug addicted to being clean and being a Muslim woman. And, you know, even them displaying how Malcolm was, I'm not going to say a sex symbol. That would be disrespectful for, you know, the elder and for our leaders of our community. But how he was admired, how, like, because it was often said how people admired him and women would admire the regalness they emitted from Malcolm X. And you see it from Nigel Thatcher's portrayal of Malcolm X, man, in the movie. And yeah, man, if you haven't watched it, watch The Godfather of Harlem. Godfather of Harlem with Forrest Whitaker. Check it out. I think it's you will love it. You will love it, man. Because Forrest Whitaker, he out here getting busy, getting stuff done with his head held high. You ain't shaking him. You ain't getting him nervous. You might have him a little nervous, but he's figuring everything out. He has a way out of everything. He has a solution for everything. And yeah, man, you get to see the different lives he's leading as a family man and as a grandfather and a man of the community, while also being in the drug world, in a world of organized crime, and being loyal to his men. So check it out if you ain't watched it. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out. Peace.